Hello and welcome to Techlusive. I'm Shweta and I have with me a very special guest, Avneet Singh Marwah, who's the CEO of SPPL. Now, for those of you who don't know, SPPL is the company that manufactures consumer electronic products such as ACs and TVs in India. So, the Blobwood TV that you recently bought or the Thomson AC that you're planning to buy are all manufactured by SPPL. Welcome to Techlusive, Avneet. So let's start our conversation from the time you began transforming this company. So SPPL right now is manufacturing products for 5 companies, including Kodak, Thomson, and Blobwood. So while these companies are fairly popular in the international markets, they are still gaining popularity in India. So when you started this transformation, what made you go for comparatively lesser known names in India compared to some of the most popular names, and what were the challenges that you faced at the time?
So first of all, hello to all your viewers. We thought that there was a big transformation from, if I talk about in television industry, from CRT to LCDs and LED. So LCDs used to be a very luxury product back then, and the main purpose was how to have affordable category introduced in this sort of a sector, in this sort of a category. And then we realized that this will be the biggest disruption because we took our learning from smartphones, how affordable category disrupted the whole market. And then we thought that TV will be the big next set of category. Now we had our own couple of Indian grown brands, and with that, we thought that because this is a technology product, this is not the hardware that we'll be selling. This will be the software, especially after smart TV came into existence, and the kind of growth month on month we saw. Then we thought that because of this technology, you need brands which are multinational, which has globally a huge recall. And then as Indians, we are always favorable to all these multinational big recall brands. So we started working. 2015 we signed Kodak. 18 we launched Thomson, and then we launched Blopper from Germany, and then Westinghouse for television. And I think there's no looking back after 2015. Yes, one more thing I need to add, that the kind of infrastructure that we had, it's very, very important for any brand to have that kind of infrastructure. Of course, manufacturing. We're doing Make in India from last 30 years. When a lot of people started importing screens from different countries, still we were manufacturing. And we have seen that all that hard days. And after that, the network of service that you have after sales service, I think that was really important. From day one, we were completely focused. And that's this mantra and success behind our brands.
So, what have been your key learnings throughout this journey?
I think key learning is people say that India is a very big market. But I still say the penetration versus population is quite low in the country. It's very hard to make profit out of brands. The kind of big brands that have come in, which is making, the brands are very big, but they're just making a beta of 1%, 2%. And I'm talking about the brand which makes most of the margins in India. So it's very difficult to counter them. So, but it's not impossible, I feel. So this is one of the big learnings. And yes, Indian brands, Indian manufacturing brands have have a long way to go. Manufacturing, of course, is very, very key now, and the kind of slow and steady strategy that we followed, I think today that has given us the most momentum, I think.
Right now, SPPL's portfolio primarily includes 4 devices. We're looking at TVs, washing machines, ACs, and coolers. So, are there plans of bringing in more categories to the fold, say refrigerators or maybe vacuum cleaners?
Of course, yes. There is a lot of things. Not even other home appliances. We are looking for other technology products also. I think the next 5 years, every year you will, or every 6 months, you will see a new category that we'll be introducing. Apart from home appliances, there are other categories which we feel that disruption is left in that category. And within 2 to 3 months, there is a very big news that is coming up. From television and from television to home appliances, now we'll be touching towards technology.
So, a lot of your products are focused on budget market and mid-budget market. Are there plans of targeting the ultra premium and premium segments as well?
Absolutely. This Diwali, I think we launched QLEDs in all our three brands. We were expecting to sell the kind of in stock that our exclusive partner was Flipkart, and the kind of sales we were expecting in 40 days, we got sold out in 6 hours. So, and all QLEDs, ticket size above 35,000, average selling price 40,000, and that gave us a lot of confidence, the kind of equity that our brands have created. And today, some of the brands are selling more of 55 inches than 32. So I think the kind of growth we are seeing in 4K, it's phenomenal. And as I always say, in last 2 years, I'm keep on saying and repeating that the new 32 will be 55.
All right, all right. So, talking about the trends, can you share some insights regarding the trends that you have witnessed in the past year across categories, especially in metropolitan cities compared to tier 1 and tier 2 cities?
I think the biggest trend that I saw, and I saw this year, was India is no more about opening price point. I think the kind of growth that we are seeing in mid segment has been phenomenal. I think the per capita income is growing, and from $2.5 thousand dollars, I think it will reach about $3.54 thousand. The ideal position is about $12,000 per capita. That's where, from a developing to developed nation, and the kind of $3-4 trillion economy that everybody is vouching for. I think that is the growth strategy that India has. Plus, yes, the per capita income grows, disposable income grows, and that's where there is a shift in the market. Definitely, there is a shift in the market. Having said that, rural market is not growing, and that's a term that needs to be very worried for. Despite of having back-to-back good seasons for agriculture, I think the consumerism, the buying sentiments needs to improve at the rural sector also. The moment both these sectors will grow, I think each and every category will see their growth pattern.
So, is there a reason? Is there a particular reason for this trend?
One of the main reason is inflation. The kind of, and I would say that it has global reasons. After pandemic, we saw a war, and then it disrupted the whole market. Fuel pricing, component pricing, commodity pricing, and then agriculture disruption. So there are a lot of things that has in place, especially in rural sector where I would say that that sector, the dependency on agriculture is high, and we need to have more alternatives now. So the moment we'll have that, we need one more green revolution where we have multiple crops, and that's where the disposable income grows in the country. That's where technology lies. Apart from that, there is one big disruption that I see coming this year, that trend that people are witnessing, all the trade partners can figure it out, the 5G placement across the country, and how government is very focused in rural sector of having fiber optical cable across. So I think 5G will be the biggest game changer for smart TV. People will be shifting towards OTT, and like in cities, like in tier 2, tier 3, I think rural will have a lot of regional OTT, and that's where the growth lies.
So, is there a particular product category in your portfolio that has done particularly well in the past year?
In terms of television, I think starting with television, yes, 4Ks, as I told you. One of the reason is the kind of 4K content is maturing. A lot of OTT players are now producing their content in Dolby Vision, Atmos, 4K, UHD. So that's where I think because of the content getting matured, the viewership is increasing, and that's where customer needs to they are upgrading their televisions. Again, as I told you that from entry level, for example, 1 ton air condition, the penetration of air condition is about 6-7%. From 1 ton, which used to be the highest selling, it's now 1.5 ton. So again, with such penetration, still it's upgrading. So that's a good news.
So this is a trend that you've witnessed across markets, say metropolitan cities in tier 1, tier 2 cities, and even the smaller cities, or is it focused on certain geographies?
No, of course, in terms of different category, plays at different state, at different regions are different. For example, washing machine does not do well in eastern region where it's coastal, where there is a lot of problem in terms of drying clothes, etc. And normally that region does not do well for any brand. So yes, it does matter a lot. States like West, South, Delhi NCR does really well in bigger sizes and television. Bangalore, for instance, Hyderabad, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, one of the highest GST payer states, were top 3, top 4. So that does really well. Maharashtra does really well. Gujarat, and the biggest what I say, the growth trajectory in terms of electronic products is Uttar Pradesh. In last 3 years, the kind of growth that we are seeing, online, offline, both, and the shift towards buying bigger or better or premium segment, and the aspiration is going really high, I think, in this region.
All right. So let's talk a bit about the policies now. So Prime Minister Modi's Make in India push, coupled with the schemes such as PLI and EMC 2.0, have really spurred a movement in the country, and there's a big push for increasing and improving the electronic manufacturing ecosystem in India. So how have these schemes benefited domestic players like SPPL?
So firstly, as I told you, from last 30 years, we are doing Make in India. And Make in India is not new for people who already was manufacturing. It just needed a couple of policy changes, and how from Make in India we became Trade in India, and then shifting the focus again to manufacturing was really important. Because in trading, 1.3 billion people are there in the country, and trust me, if you are trading, only 5% employees you need, workforce you need to run a show. So it's a great initiative. I feel that PM is taking. At least somebody is sensing that kind of need that's there, and the kind of I would say the country has that kind of capabilities, and we are not fully utilizing that capability. So that trend started in 15-16. Pandemic happened. Whatever we were expecting in next 6-7 years started happening in 2 years. With Atmanirbhar, yes, because everybody realized that we are nirbhar on somebody else. And some other country, if they will increase prices, if they will not supply, that's why there was a global supply chain problem, because countries were dependent. It's high time that we should have our own core component manufacturing. We need more raw material factories in India. There is a good move, good initiative. But at the end of the day, brands, companies, organization has to take part. There has been a lot of lucrative policies, from banning CBUs of television or air conditioners, so that they'll encourage more manufacturing in India. from assembly in India to now manufacture, which is very, very important. And then PLI, which is a game changer move, and there has been government have started giving back to the organization. So I feel that it's a starting, it's beginning. There's long way to go, and if this continues for about 5 to 6 years, definitely there will be a plus one.
What else do you think the government can do to, help domestic players compete in the international markets better?
So for domestic market, I think government didn't realize that there were a lot of multinationals in electronics which were burning money in India to gain market share. I think after what happened, pandemic and tension between borders, government realized that there is something we need to figure it out. So there should be an equal playing field because they're booking their profit somewhere and saving tax structure in India. I think there should be more equal playing field. And the moment government has started taking action, you see, I'll give you an example for wearables. The top three, top four are Indian brands. Okay, and because they changed their strategy, I think hats off to them. It's and same way it will be replicated in a lot of other categories. If we have to be global competitive, then there are other policies that government needs to see. They have done some changes in smartphones. I think it's high time that they should look into home appliances and television. But yes, we need more incentive link schemes for export. And the moment we will be export driven, I think there will be a lot of changes we'll see.
How does the year 2023 look like for SPPL?
I think as a holistic picture is, it's a very challenging year coming out of the pandemic and now seeing what has happened globally, and then the kind of inflation, if government controls inflation, we are at a much better place than others, what we see, what we hear. And we see there is a growth in a lot of categories. So it's a very challenging year. But the mood of the nation is that it's not giving up. There is a lot of new things that will be coming this year, from 5G to more AI, smart home integrated products. I feel that's where the whole ecosystem is changing. So overall challenging, but still growing.